Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Scrubcast. I am your scrubby host, Solaris Quixote, also known as Solaris X. I am here to cast, you might think would be a deadly juggernaut who went 17-3 in this game of Navi versus Virtus Pro as part of ESL 1 Frankfurt that just happened, but you'd be wrong. I'm not going to cast Dendy Juggernaut. And the reason I'm not going to cast Dendy Juggernaut is because as good as Dendy was, as good as Dendy did in this game, I don't think he was maybe the most impactful hero and most impactful player. I think in this particular game, the most impactful player was General on the Slardar, and his record doesn't seem to look at it. If you just look at the stats on this game, I think he was like 3-18 or something. I don't know, he had a ton of deaths. He didn't do as well as you might think according to the stats, but trust me, I watched this game, and this is an example of where the carry gets all the credit, and the support or the enabler or the initiator, whoever it is, doesn't. But you will see, they've got a really strange lineup here. They've got this Slardar into Ancient Apparition, followed by a Bounty Hunter, a Slark, which I think everybody thought was going to be the carry, and then a Juggernaut, the Dendy Juggernaut, who, once he got started, was in fact a Juggernaut for sure. But very kind of a strange lineup. That means you look at this and you say Slardar off lane, Ancient Apparition safe lane, Bounty Hunter roaming, Slark safe lane, Juggernaut? Usually a safe lane hero, but in this case he was a mid lane hero played by Dendy. Against the Virtus Pro lineup of a starting Lifestealer with a Ricky, so you got the Infest Bomb on the Ricky, which is just disgusting. You've got a Tide Hunter sitting front lines, just walking into people, just waiting for somebody to attack him. And you got a Death Prophet played by G, one of the probably very best mids in the world right now. Very, very good player. And then an Earth Spirit played by No Fear. So very good lineup here by Virtus Pro. In fact, the casters who cast this game predicted that Virtus Pro would win this because of the lineup. I guess a few of them didn't. Not everybody picked Navi to win this, or picked Virtus Pro to win this, but many of them did. And little did they realize just how powerful Navi was going to be in this game. And so what I'm here to do, the purpose of this is not to recast the game in its entirety. You want to do that, you can watch the game. There's plenty of videos, VODs of that. My goal is to watch one hero and see how well that hero see how that hero is played in this situation by a professional player. I've covered General before, but I've not covered Slardar. And Slardar is a really important part of this particular patch in this meta. He does something very important in his initiation and how he counter-initiates and how he initiates in the first place. And it's just a really important hero, and I wanted to cover this hero and how it's played. So I'm going to just follow the hero the entire time. The point of the Scrubcast is to follow a hero so that we, the Scrubs, myself included, can learn how to play a hero in a circumstance. Obviously, this is just one version of this hero. There's many ways you could play Slardar, just as well there's many other plays you can play these other heroes. Some more limited than others. Just like, Dendy pulled out a mid-juggernaut in this game. But I want to be a better player, and I think if anybody's watching this, you can watch it with me, and you can see throughout the entire game, not just the highlights, not just particular moments, so on and so forth, when he just jumps in and you see the four-man crush, and you're like, oh, it's sick, and oh, it's fantastic. How did he get the Blink Dagger? Does anybody know how he got the Blink Dagger? Did we follow him when he was getting the Blink Dagger, when he was avoiding being ganked in the off lane, when he was avoiding being killed by a Lifestealer, Ricky, and Earth Spirit? These are all important things that have to happen. These games aren't won just on a jump in and a crush. They're won in the laning stage, and they're won in little movements throughout the game and little decisions and things like that. So I want to follow General throughout the entire game, and I'm going to go ahead and start. So let's see here. Go ahead and fast forward through this mess, this beginning of the game. You never know how long it's going to take to get through to this. Sometimes it's like 2 or 3 seconds. Sometimes I have to fast forward. I guess I'm going to have to fast forward. Minus 15 seconds. Let's try that. Nope, still here. 8 seconds. There we go. Okay, so let's start off here. We're going to go ahead and put on player perspective, which I already have it on. I'm going to go ahead and put it on Slardar's perspective, who he's currently looking at somebody else. Okay, so what does he start off with? Let's click on Slardar again just to make sure. Okay, he's looking... I'm getting confused because if you look at your little map here, you look at your little screen here, that is not a Slardar! That is the weirdest looking Slardar I've ever seen. That is a Death Prophet. I get these weird glitches when I pause the game like this in these replays, so go ahead and play. So he starts off with a 4 tangos, starts off the healing salve, got a stout shield. What you need to be able to beat an off lane. Doesn't have any mana regen, doesn't really need any mana regen. He's here, doesn't spend a lot of mana. I guess his bash, Slither and Crush, which is his AoE area of effect right around his hero, bash, doesn't really have a ton of mana requirements. It's 80 mana. You can cast that quite a few times, actually. It looks like his, I think his speed thing, his sprint. Yeah, that's not a mana spell, which is amazing. I love that about sprint. His bashes are all passive, and his amplified damage only is 25 mana. So he really doesn't need a lot of mana. So decent setup. You need the regen. He's coming down here to check out. He's going past the... I guess he's checking to see if anybody's going to ward that area early on. He did not ward anything. He doesn't have any wards. He's not ward bitch. He's definitely not an off-laner, not the best ward bitch in the world. They need to be able to survive. They need stats. They need regen. Not a good idea to make your off-laner just a ward bitch. I think that's one lesson in the game. So, General cruising around here. Slardar hero with 620 health to start. 5 armor. Tremendous amount of damage mitigation. Pretty slow. 290 move speed. Actually, that might be that. I don't know what the average move speed is upon start, but he is a strength hero. He goes ahead and levels the Slither and Crush. He has a couple of levels of Chilling Touch, thanks to Ancient Apparition. He helps Dendi defend the rune. So here's an example. Dendi was supported by General. General helped get Dendi the rune. So, you talk about people, oh, Dendi, Dendi, Dendi. You see all the comments on this game, like, Dendi, Dendi, Dendi's broken, report Dendi, so on and so forth. Well, General just helped Dendi get a start. So this is what I'm talking about. You don't always have to be, I think, the hot shot in the game who's like a player like Dendi. Few of us are Dendi. Very few people are as good as Dendi. So we have to try to play other heroes, I think. That's my thought about being a scrub. Try to play other heroes decently well, figure them out, and do your job. All right, so he's coming down here. He's at 43 mark. He's actually not blocking the creep wave. That's interesting. Well, he didn't block the creep wave. We helped Dendi get the rune, so I guess that's why he couldn't block the creep wave. But he's coming down here. See what he does first. Works on getting a deny. Actually, he works on getting a last hit. Then he works on getting a deny. He's about to get killed here. And, oh my gosh, General, you are going to be so dead. He's so tanky, though. Holy crap. Slither and Crush to stop both of them. Is he going to be able to stop it? And he does. So he survives. He used 1 tango with 2 Slither and Crushes. He's got enough for 1 more Slither Crush if he needs it. He's going to have enough for boots, which I'm guessing he's going to go for very soon. But he wants to avoid the gank over here, probably by another no fear Earth rolling boulder. So he's up against, so he's got Seneko coming in here as well to help him out. I think Seneko probably has a little bit of an probably an Orb of Venom. No, he doesn't have an Orb of Venom. Interesting. Not setting up for that kind of lane. So General, just getting a few last hits when he can. Gonna probably deny that guy. Oh, now he's scared because there's a Ricky in the house. He doesn't have any wards. He's still waiting to get his boots. I wonder what he's going to grab first. I think he misses that last hit. Slither and Crushes, misses the last hit, hits a low high dance a few times. He sprints. I'm not sure what that was all about. Maybe try to go get the rune, but then he realized the rune was probably going to be gone by then. And he backs up, and you can see on the mini-map there are 3 people that are in that lane. Maybe that's the reason why he was backing up. He might have seen some information letting him know that he needs to get the hell out of dodge. So he leaves the lane entirely. He did try to avoid the gank. And this is not bad. I mean, I think generally speaking you want to stay in your lane, but look at the creep wave. It is way pushed down into the lane. This creep wave is very far down. He knew there were 3 people. He doesn't see anybody else on the map at the moment, so they could all still be there waiting to gank him. And so instead of putting himself in danger, low health, using up all of his regen to try to stay in the lane, he makes his presence unknown. They don't know where he is. He could be ganking. Yoku over here working on Dichira. That's actually interesting. If you see that, I was actually thinking about casting Tide because of what he did up here. Tide actually turned to 3v1. And he actually got a first blood on Slark, I believe. Really fun little play there. So General comes back down. He makes himself known. He's going to come in here and get some of this experience. Maybe last hit or two. He's going to contest this. He'll get stunned, but that's not going to be much. He knows that he's not going to get going on. He's going to go ahead and get some regen. He's going to sprint into this area just to make sure he can avoid some kind of attack. But okay, now he sees 3 people. If you saw that on the minimap, he's probably looking right at his minimap, and he backs off just in time. He's far enough away that they're not going to be able to stop him. By the way, he did get his boots and a TP when he was back up there. And gosh, even the position he's in, as high as he was, he's still going to get killed here. So this is the danger in this lane. He did die. Not good, of course, but not the worst thing in the world for him to die to 3 people. Experience spread out. Money, distributed. You see here, look at the money there. Earth Spirit got 196 gold. Oh, that's nice. And there's a gold share too. So he's back. He TP's down. He grabs a Quelling Blade because I think he realizes now he's gonna have to get out of this lane because this is such a dangerous lane with the slow on Aloha Dance's Life Stealer, with the rolling boulder from was that No Fear, and the kick, stun, silences, and then the Ricky that's always there. That's always dangerous. Here's another example. Like he just has to get out of this lane. He needs to get out of this area entirely. So he's probably going to go ahead and build into an Iron Talon. That's what I'm guessing. As soon as he gets enough money. He already has the Iron Talon recipe. He just needs another 25 gold. So that's one of the benefits of having Iron Talon is it's very cheap. It's a very high efficiency item, very little amount of money spent, and you can save yourself from being in an entire lane. You can leave the lane entirely. This is such a dangerous lane. He might just feed if he stays down here. So, this tells me something as a scrub. I am just a terrible player, and I don't really realize these things. I'm like, oh, I'll just sit in lane. I got to be in lane, right? That's what you do in this game. You just play in lanes. He's done that a little bit, but he also has died, and he doesn't want to feed the Life Stealers at all, if at all possible. He'll maybe come down here when he has Seneko to help him out on the Bounty Hunter, but for the most, or when the lane is pushed this high, But once the lane is pushed this high, then what's going to happen is he's going to go into the tower. He actually, Aloha Dance actually dodges that crush. The wave's going to push him this tower, and then this tower is going to then push the creep wave all the way back down. The enemies are going to pull, so he's probably going to pop a salve. Yep, going to go up here. Get some Iron Talon jungling done. He's going to go for the boots, the healing boots. This is another important farming tool. And here he goes. He's going to get Iron Talon, the big guy first. He's going to then pull away, which is a tactic I've learned recently, so that you reduce the total number of hits on your hero. You don't just keep standing there and keep getting hit. You actually pull them away, and you hit them as they're running back, which means that you have 2 or 3 seconds of time when they're not going to get hit. Now, of course, the other thing you do with this is it gives you time to use your Iron Talon again. So he's actually going to pop his Slither and Crush to help him farm, and that's probably, he has enough mana, and I'm usually a hero. I'm usually a player that doesn't like using my Slither and Crush, my spells, unless I absolutely need it. But the more I've watched professional games, the more I realize that's probably not a good idea, because if you're in a position where you're not even going to be sitting in the lane because it's too dangerous, you need to maximize your farm speed. I mean, he needs a Blink Dagger. He's not going to be able to get a Blink Dagger at this point until probably 15, 20 minutes in. He's going to have to get some decent kills. And he's even under attack under his own tower. That slow is nasty. That's the open wounds. So it's not just a slow, it's, enemy heals off of attacking you. So, but while he's going to sit down here, let the creep camp regenerate, respawn, I guess. He's going to get a few last hits while under the protection of the tower. There's a double siege engine there, so that was pretty nice. A nice push into that lane by VP, by Virtus Pro. Got that tower down about a quarter of its health, a third of its health. So he's got to be careful. See, now this is the point on the screen I'm looking at here, where he starts getting into danger, and you can see Aloha Dance reacting immediately, thinking about casting the open wounds on him, threatening him, keeping General out of this lane as much as possible. General does not know what's going on. There's no wards to the left. He's looking at the map. There are, well, he sees there are now 3 people mid. He's probably going to go ahead, get this rune. Maybe let Seneko get it. He doesn't really need anything. He's got his boots, finally. And it looks like the mid-aggression was deterred somehow. He didn't play a role in that, so that was whoever played that was very good. He's going to go back to Iron Talon jungling. He puts his boots on the ground. Now this is dangerous with the Riki. Very dangerous with the Riki. The point of doing that, of course, is that you don't trigger the Tranquil Boots cooldown. If he sits there and he just keeps hitting the creeps, then you know he can then immediately grab his boots afterward and then heal up. He doesn't have to wait for 13 seconds. But with the Riki in the area, Riki, there's no sentry wards right there. Riki could just come up and delete his boots or take his boots or whatever. Not a smart move. So, okay, here's an example. What is General doing? He's coming down south to contest the Lifestealer, and the reason he's doing that is because he sees 3 mid. He knows that there's not going to be enough to kill him bottom. He has the Stout Shield. He has a decent amount of health. He does have the Crush. He does have 12 armor. Which is another nice benefit of the Iron Talon. It's not just a farming tool because it takes away health of the enemy. It's also a farming tool because it gives him lots of armor. And so he's just come down here. He's going to contest this farm, which is better than the farm he has up there. Not only is he going to give that farm to his friends, but he's going to eliminate this farm from the enemy. He's just going to keep going down here farming, although he has to be careful because now there's 2 people to the bottom right. He's got a guy mid, he's got a guy top, so he knows there's somebody around here probably. As soon as he sees those people move off, he's probably going to run away, I'm guessing. And that's nice benefit of having the bounty hunter down there in the lane is that he's able to see what's going on so he can continue farming in the woods. Riki's not going to be able to stop General from farming in the woods. He's moving out of the way so we can get the creep respawn here, 10 minutes. And there he is. Iron Talon, get the big creep. Pull back. He's also going to put the amplify damage on top of the big creep, which is so cheap. I mean, he can cast it again here if he wants to. He's getting helped out by a healing ward from Dendi. How nice of you, Dendi. Just constant use of the Iron Talon as much as possible. He's going to go back. He needs mana. He doesn't have any mana for Crush. He doesn't have any TP scrolls. Here's Dendi getting killed. He survives. Juggernaut, good hero. Ancient Apparition alt whiffs completely. Is he finally going to come in? Okay, he's going to actually TP into the top tower because that tower is gone. See if he's going to make it down here. He sprints, but he completely misses the entire fight. So his contribution so far not high, but I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a good contribution. Keeps the vision, by the way, on people with the amplify damage. I think he's popped. I think he purchased a Clarity, or somebody put a Clarity on him. I have seen professionals do this, where they buy a Clarity in base. If they're anticipating a team fight, they'll buy a Clarity, pop the Clarity on while they're right before they TP out, and they've got this like constant regen for a team fight, so that just in case they'll be able to get another Southern Crush off or another amplify damage off. Just one more spell is all they need. So that's really nice. And of course he loses it because he's in the lane. He gets hit by a creep. So he's taking some of this farm up top. He's still staying out of that bottom lane. The creep camp where he was farming in his own jungle there on the bottom near Roshan is gone. He's probably trying to avoid that area too because he knows the enemies were in that area, and he sees 3 people mid at the moment. So that is a very dangerous spot to be farming right over there. So instead he's farming up top. So wherever the enemy is, like some kind of water balloon. The enemy squeezes the water balloon and he goes somewhere else. He is the water, folks. He is the water in the water balloon. Yes, you've heard it here on the Scrubcast. Water in the water balloon. But it's really not a bad metaphor though, because he needs the farm. He needs a blink dagger. He's actually getting close. 1500, 1600 here. He's pushing the lane as much as he can. Actually, he's not pushing as much as he can, but he is pushing a little bit. Doesn't want to push the creep wave too far. He wants to get the farm, especially while the enemies are visible on the screen. This is a free farm for him. Picks up a TP. Even Iron Taloning. I mean, he's Iron Taloning everything he can. Is that the verb? Iron Taloning? Still going to keep farming. He needs that Blink Dagger. I'm sure the Navi, he's going to, by the way, drop the boots here because he knows that there's Riki somewhere else. He sees the Riki. There's blue on the map somewhere else. So he knows it's safe to do that. Then he put it back on. I guess he saw Ricky coming in the woods. Okay, he's got 2,000. He sees there's an enemy in his jungle, 2 or 3 enemies in his jungle. He needs to back off. I'm sure at TeamSpeak his friends are saying, hey, get the hell out. You're probably going to come in here and try to help fight this team fight. He sprints in, he puts amplified damage on the Earthshaker, gets a 2-man crush, hits a couple times. He might have gotten a bash there. Dendy for the alt. And Ricky just doing his stupid Ricky things. And there's a nice swipe kill on the Ricky. This happens when you have an underleveled, no item Ricky. So he can amplify damage and farm in the woods. They cleared out the enemies. He really needs that blink. He actually just got the blink dagger as part of those kills. So it's good. You know, you can keep farming, but also you need to protect your friends. And more than that, you need to get the items you need. You can also get the items you need by killing things. So, you know, I'm sure his teammates were like, hey, we can take this fight. You saw the H Apparition ultimate land. They were able to turn it pretty nicely, and he was there just in time. And that's because he was actually pulling back before, you know, he saw the enemies going into his jungle. I'm sure his teammates are telling him, hey, pull back, might need your assistance, or hey, just get the hell out because you might get killed out there farming. And he's way out there. And so the enemies could have easily come up and cut off his path to retreat. Then he would have had to then TP by going to the side shop. So he did help out with that. Now, Seneko dying on the Bounty Hunter, not the worst thing in the world. Seneko actually dies a lot in the Bounty Hunter, and I actually thought about casting this as a game where how do you play a losing hero but still win the game? This is how he did it. Okay, so General actually avoids that mid area. He's completely avoiding the area. There are four heroes there. Instead, he's going to probably blink onto... no. He just keeps vision and keeps the threat up on the Death Prophet there. He blinks out. He doesn't want to contest. I don't think he can do really one-on-one, although I think the Death Prophet might have used her ultimate. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like she did not use her ultimate. So he's ready to initiate here. There's the blink in, crush, amplify damage, ancient apparition, ult. So he just got a solo kill there, and now it's a 4v1 fight, or actually a 4v4 fight, because Dendy somehow, I guess Dendy died back as part of that mid push by Virtus Pro. But General being very aggressive here. Now that he has a blink dagger, he can be. He's not farming really anymore. I mean, he might go back to that at some point, but his job at this point is to initiate. His job is to get kills. He's got the amplified damage, which, by the way, does pierce spell immunity, which is just disgusting. So all these physical damage buff. I mean, it's level 1 is minus 10 armor, which puts most of these heroes in a very difficult situation. So Slardar is now up to 15 armor, which gives him some pretty sick magic or physical resistance. He goes ahead, blinks, stuns, ults, and then into the Ancient Apparition alt on the Lifestealer. And that's enough to kill the Lifestealer. So his contribution is keeping these heroes in place. I mean, he obviously stuns them so they can't do damage, and he stuns them so they take damage, but also the fact that they're sitting there during the Ancient Apparition alt while that Ancient Apparition ult is being flying overhead. So he TP's back mid, he's going to blink in, 2-man crush, saves Dendy. So again, Dendy gets all the credit, but General just saved Dendy's ass. He actually dodges the kick there, that's very nice. Go ahead and amplifies damage on, I guess that's the Earth Shaker, or Earth Spirit, I'm sorry. Though he does seem to be targeting the Earth Spirit, by the way. That may just been the fact that he was the one sitting behind. The first one he's come across, basically, in both circumstances. So, let's see here. What is he going for? What are you going for? Okay, so he's got the Staff of Wizardry. He's got the Ring of Regen. He's going for a Force Staff. He's going to blink Force Staff. Highly mobile. He wants to be able to get in, crush, get the hell out, especially when there's a tide. He also wants to be able to save his friends, particularly Dendy. Dendy does not have. I mean, Dendy has one escape with the Blade Fury thing, but he doesn't have any escapes after that. Also, H Apparition is just sad case. Needs to get the hell out of during a Ricky ult or something like that. When you got a Ricky ult, you got a Death Prophet ult, you got a Lifestealer. Force Staff is pretty much a fantastic counter Lifestealer. You see it again. Blink, crush, ult, Ancient Apparition ult, death. He's probably going to blink crush into these two guys right here. Amplifies damage on the Earth Spirit. Blink Crush, come on. Oh, he actually avoids. I guess the word on the street there from Navi was to not fight that. I would have probably just jumped in there and crushed and then died horribly and, you know, say he's going to farm, try to make the most of a bad situation, as well as the other, looks like the Juggernaut is farming. So they do lose 3, but that's, I think, one of the strengths of this particular draft is they can lose 2 or 3 heroes and they're still farming. They can still farm and push out the lanes, and, you know, Dendi's still getting fatter, even though they lose a Slark. So it's kind of like the redundancy model of draft. You've got 2 redundant kind of melee cores. Obviously, Slark a much better late game than Juggernaut, but Juggernaut being a fantastic mid to early late game hero, and still really good late game. I mean, very good hero throughout the game, pretty much. One of the reasons he's picked so damn much. But and that's nice. They actually have three melee cores here. They've got the Slardar as well. Now, obviously, Slardar is really playing the initiation role, and that's really all he's doing here. He farms the lane when there's nothing else to do, which, you know, punishes the enemy and keeps his farm up. Make sure he gets that 4-step as much as possible. And I think a lot of times, you know, when I'm playing these games and I see the enemy, you know, pushing it on my friends, I always go to defend my friends. Well, that's bad. You know, you're not always going to win. Or I always go back to base because I'm afraid, right? Okay, so he's smoked. He actually breaks the smoke as he sees FNG there on the Riki. He wants to crush the Riki. He's going to go ahead and crush the Riki. It's Ancient Apparition ult there. That's probably going to kill him. Actually, he avoids the kick there. Very nice. He's going to probably ult Aloha Dance here if he can. There's actually, yeah, he can pierce spell immunity, so he doesn't worry about Aloha Dance's spell resistance. Is he going to crush? Going to crush G? Yeah, there's the crush on G, and he immediately runs away. He does not bother dealing with G there. I love that. I remember watching this, and I was like, gosh, that's so smart, because he doesn't need to help kill G. G is so dead. What he needs to do is he needs to get vision on the rest of the heroes. And you can see, he sees the Earth Spear running around. Actually, that's a Tidehunter running around. He needs to know where these other enemies are, and if he's going to keep pressure up on the enemy, you know, he can do that. He goes forward, he gets the crush, and then he moves on, and he gets the vision on the enemy. He protects his friends and potentially sets up the next kill. So I think he's done that numerous times in this game. And I mean, his contribution to damage is so minimal. He gets a bash, yeah, but look at what he's leveled. He's got max points, max mobility, initiation build. He's got sprint. He's got Slither and Crush. He's got amplified damage. He only has 1 point in bash. So that's nice, you know, but that's not the role he's playing in this game. Bash is great if you're doing damage, if you're sitting there and hitting people. But when you're sitting there hitting people, you know, around 4 of your friends, you don't need to do that. Your friends are going to get the kills. Secondly, if you're the one hitting them, you might get the kill when you actually want your friends to get the kill. Third, you're not continuing the steamroll. You're not continuing the snowball because you're not doing your job and getting amplified damage on top of people, so you can get vision of them, even when they're invisible, like Ricky's, or you know, any Shadow Bladed unit or whatever the case may be. So, you know, it makes a lot of sense, and that way, you know, if there is a counter initiation by, say, a Tide with the Tide ultimate, then he can just leave. He's out of the way. He can then counter initiate on top of the Tide if the Tide were to do that. Just blinks in on top of the Tide, Slither and crushes, and he's fine. And his teammates live, basically. Okay. So he is just kind of walking around with his teammates here.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
I guess it'd be nice to know kind of what they're talking about, so you can kind of hear what the words are. Okay, so he sees a friend there. Oh, he's getting got right here, folks. He actually is able to escape that even during the Riki ult, which is interesting. I'm not sure what the Riki ult was doing there. He's probably going to blink in. He's going to be run around here. See if he can catch him out of guard. Oh, he blinks in the middle. That was a beautiful 3-man crush, but the Tide counter initiates. He's going to die for this. But he does get the 3-man crush off. Dendi's able to do a Blade Fury in. Then he's going to be able to kill. Who was that? Was that the Riki or the Lifestealer? And Dendi might be able to escape here. Yeah, this is actually the amazing Dendi escape. So close, so close. And so I really question, if he didn't get the 3-man crush there, how would this team fight have gone differently? Because Dendi just came back and ulted and got another kill. Look at how low Ditch-Ra it was. I think the Ancient Apparition would have potentially been killed too. This would have potentially been a 4-man wipe or a 5-man wipe if he did not get that 3-man crush. Every last second counts here. And so that is I would say, potentially a game-winning crush. And I just actually want to go through and look at it again because of how important it was and what was going on. So he's just chilling with his friends. Dendi actually Blade Fury's TP's out of a very bad situation. Dendi comes back in. They know where the enemy is in their jungle. There's a smoke on Ancient Apparition. I guess they were thinking about it. But he's smoke screened from Ricky at the moment. Oh, that's a cast effect. So he's actually he got gone on by Aloha Dance. I didn't even realize what was going on. He was actually leading the charge. Oh, I am not looking at what's going on. I gotta go back now. So he escapes narrowly. He uses a sprint to help do that. He gets out. He's going to initiate, but doesn't go straight back in. He actually is very intelligent. He goes around. He sets up the blink. He blinks, crushes, 3-man, Aloha Dance, Ancient Apparition all in the middle of that. That's when everything starts to happen. Then he gets the nice Blade Fury off. Then he's going to be able to kill. Was that, FNG there on the Ricky. Ricky's dead. He's actually going to be able to get around. He's going to be able to escape from the Death Prophet ultimate. Very nice. He even escapes from the, what do you call that spell? The Crypt Swarm. And then he comes back in, barely avoids the Crypt Swarm, gets the ultimate, kills Death Prophet, and walks away with it. So, yeah, so I think that's a good example of how General, the unsung hero, one of the unsung heroes perhaps of this game, Seneko, one of the other unsung heroes. Seneko dies a lot, and I think people are, oh, he just died. Well, when Seneko's dying, that means the rest of his team is not the one. So, Virtus Pro gets this gank going. They've got 3 or 4-man gank going on, and they're in Viz, or not in Viz, they're smoked up, and they run into Seneko, and they kill Seneko. Who cares? Seneko has nothing. I mean, he has a mech and arcane boots at this point, but that's because he's been part of some fights and been part of some track gold stuff and so on and so forth. But he dies, and that saves the rest of his team because the Virtus Pro does not want to kill on Seneko. They want to kill at least General. They want to kill they would rather kill the Juggernaut or the Ditch-Ra Slark. Those are the much better kills. So these 5-man gank squads running into Seneko, killing Seneko is actually probably one of the best things that could happen to Navi. So another unsung hero is Seneko, just always being there to pop these enemy smokes, to be where the enemy is, to make sure, kind of like a scout. Sacrificial lamb. You go out there and you take the damage, you take the brunt of the monster that is the VP Death Ball, which, by the way, is really disgusting. Really disgusting Death Ball, the Death Prophet and the Tide Ultimate, and all the stuns and the Lifestealer in there doing massive single target damage, and the Ricky Ultimate. Really hard. Smoke screen on the Ricky as well. Really hard to deal with that kind of a Death Ball. So, anyway, just kind of talking about Seneko a little bit. I think as this is the Scrubcast, I don't have to talk about General the whole game.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But back to General. Looks like General's going to go for a BKB. Goes ahead and gets his Ogre Club first. He's farming the lane. He sees where the enemy is. He's always on the other side. Looks like the call is to TP in and defend this tower. So he actually pops in, gets nearly killed almost instantly. He's under the smoke screen. He's going to get slowed here by Aloha Dance. He's going to totally turn this probably. Ancient Apparition alt whiffs. He's looking for the counter initiation. Looking for there's the Ricky. He gets healed by a mech from Seneko. He's going to back off. I guess they want to defend that tower, but at least the Death Prophet ultimate's on that tower. So that's actually a pretty good call, probably from Artstyle. It would be nice if Artstyle had landed that ultimate on the Ancient Apparition, but that wasn't going to work. So he pushes out, farms the lane, wants the enemy somewhere else. He needs to keep getting his farm. BKB is the next big item. BKB is going to stop the open wounds from Lifestealer. BKB going to do some good work against the Crypt Swarm. No damage from that. It's going to avoid the kick, the Boulder Smash. I'm sorry, the Boulder Smash, the Boulder slow from the rolling boulder. He's going to be able to avoid, I guess, I think that avoids the smoke screen. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so I'm not paying attention. I should probably go ahead and do that. So Navi, after pushing back Virtus Pro, smoke up through mid. Actually, they pushed back Virtus Pro. Virtus Pro kill a tower and then went away. So they're coming down. The order, I guess, is to come over here, maybe ward up, though he does not. General does not have a ward. Okay, pulls the Ricky. Ults the Ricky. Crushes the Ricky as soon as Ricky jumps to him. Very nice. That gets a nice, easy kill on Ricky. That was really cool. I honestly don't know how he saw that coming. That was a really fast move on his part. So, let's just see what he sees. So he doesn't realize there's a Ricky here. He immediately, now he realizes there's a Ricky. He force stabs himself out. He ults Ricky. Ricky comes in. He starts to move away. General starts to move away, crushes Ricky, and then H Apparition. Oh man, Sineko on the very, very timely track gold kill. Dendi getting the kill on that one. Actually, Digirad got the kill with the pounce. Dendi contributing, I think. So nice setup there. He was the frontline tank. That Force Staff really coming into play. If he had not had the Force Staff, I don't know. Virtus Pro might have been able to gang up on him to get a kill. So he's going to go over here and he's going to keep farming. Ricky is not going to have vision of this. You know, I think something I'm starting to realize as my scrubbiness, I guess, gets less scrubby. I don't know. That's the point of the scrub cast. But one of the things I'm realizing is, you know, you kind of have to have a constant track of what can kill you. And I've heard this before from, I forget who it was. It was Blitz maybe, talking about Storm Spirit and how to play Storm Spirit. But you know, if you know what can kill you, and you know, then you also have to think about what can scout you out to set up the kill. You know, and obviously a couple of heroes, it would take probably, I mean, it took 3 heroes to start to kill General. It's probably going to take 4 at this point, or a commit. You know, somebody's going to have to commit to some serious ultimates or something to be able to kill General. Because General has 14 armor, he's got 1,280 health, he has a Force Staff to get the hell out, he does have Sprint, and if he gets a crush, then that's potentially going to lead into an Ancient Apparition ult. So the enemy really does not want to go on General unless they have overwhelming numbers and can really just kill him very, very, very quickly. But General, you know, if Ricky's down, then nobody's going to be able to see General. Okay, so he's going to initiate once again. He actually blinks in, saves the crush because the enemy's blinked away. He avoids the Tide ultimate here. He's probably going to wait till his blink is on cooldown. He might save a friend with the Force Staff. No, he's just going to get the hell out. Dendi might get the kill on a low head dance. Here he goes, reinitiation, 3-man Slytherin crush. Gonna help Dendi get that kill there. Gonna probably help Dendi from dying as well. Oh, Dendi's gonna be dead anyway, probably. We'll see. General's staying the hell out of the way. Dendi, can you make it? Can you do it, Dendi? No, he's gonna get Yulesed, he's gonna get killed. Or not. Yeah, he's gonna die to the Death Prophet ultimate. These little ghosts are gonna end up killing off Dendi. General in the area. Not sure why. Low health in the enemy. Got an H Apparition ult. Is that what's going on here? Waiting for them to come up on this hill. Okay, he decides to get out. I see somebody mid. She's at full health. He doesn't have the ultimate though. He just used that ultimate. And General can pretty much solo anybody if you've got an H Apparition ult to boot. Got vision of the Roshan here. Maybe that's what he's doing, is he's trying to see whether or not Virtus Pro is going to transition from this kill on Dendi to a Roshan kill, or he may just be setting up for an offensive Roshan kill. Yeah, you know, if Virtus Pro is not going to take it, why shouldn't Navi? Another nice benefit of Slardar is that the amplified damage makes killing Roshan quite easy. Although, boy, are they taking a slow time with it. Dendi is down. Dendi has a lot of their physical damage. Digirad has a decent amount of physical damage too, but he's not that big yet. He's only got 147 health. That was a kill set up because of that word right there. And that's why words win games. Ricky comes in, General just blinks out, crushes Alts, and that's a dead Ricky. Still using his Iron Talon, might as well. Get some value out of that sucker. He's going to hit all of them pretty equally here so he can Southern Crush and get the maximum value out of the Southern Crush. Doesn't want to have overkill in Southern Crush or not get as much benefit out of it. So he's heading back. I don't know if he's going to sell the shield. I think he's going to probably keep the shield for now. That does help out a little bit against the Death Prophet ultimate. It's I don't know if the Death Prophet ultimate counts as range damage block. I guess maybe it is. I don't know. I thought it blocks her ultimate because it is physical damage coming out of her ultimate. Maybe not. Maybe that's only right clicks. I don't know. But Ricky is a little, kind of a nasty little right clicker. So that's nice. You might as well keep it. So here we go. He's going to probably counter-initiate. Is that a 4-man crush? No, he actually gets silenced because he blinks right into, I think, maybe that was the Death Prophet silence. The Dendi just solos the Earth Spirit there. General looking for the counter-initiation. I doubt he's going to crush on G. He's probably going to crush right here. There it is. Oh, no, he blinks right into a tide. Not the best thing in the world, but then he's just going to keep spinning. Dendi's pretty fat right now. General going to amplify damage onto Aloha Dance. This is the end of Aloha Dance. He's not going to stick around. He's going to look for more. And this is exactly why he does this, because he's going to probably be able to get a kill on Yoku here. Well, Yoku blinks away, maybe not. But he blinks forward. He's probably going to force stab. Is he going to force stab? Why doesn't he force stab? Crush? Okay. How lucky was that? I'm surprised he didn't force stab on that one. I would have force stabbed. I don't see any reason why not to. Keeps the amplified damage up. Going to keep the vision on top. He's just going to walk in here and slow their crush. Fakes, fakes, fakes. I don't know why he faked it. I don't know what that was all about. Was that just like taunting? Waiting for the right moment? I don't know what that was all about. Okay, they're just going to feed a Ricky here. I really don't understand why they did that. That's just, I think, Virtus Pro falling apart. He even denies the TP scrolls from Ricky. That's sad. Sad. Sad Ricky. Poor Ricky. It's just a game showing you that even if Bounty Hunter dies a million times, Bounty Hunter is still so much more valuable than a Ricky. Navi got the better of that trade there. So, looks like General is going a little offensive. He is smoked here. He's gonna try to get he could probably get a kill here on Aloha Dance if he gets the blink in, but the question is whether his friends are going to be there to support. He is way far ahead. He's probably just keeping track to see Chili get a track. There's the blink, there's the crush, there's the amplified damage. He's just going to back off. That might have just been used to scare off the Lifestealer. Because now Lifestealer needs to go away. I'm going to send an illusion in, but everybody knows that's an illusion. Just in case he's going to amplify damage up the illusion as well. And what does it matter? He just amplifies everything. Amplify everything. Fire all the missiles. Basically what I guess he's doing with the amplify damage. Okay, he's probably going to blink crush. Nope, he's going to blink into a smoke screen. Not good. He's going to stay out. Got that blink. He's letting the kind of the front liners lead at this point. Dendi's tanky enough that he can take an initial wave, initial salvo, Blade Fury, and then General can counter-initiate, and then all of a sudden the whole tide is turned. So that's how they're doing this. He is a counter-initiator right now. He's letting the fat tank carry do the brunt of the work, bulldoze the way through the creep waves, plow the way forward, and once the going gets tough for that carry, he counter-initiates, crushes. Okay, he needs to apparently he's hauling ass. He wants to, he blinks, he force staffs, he sprints. His goal is to get back and get this blink dagger. Sorry, not blink dagger, is to get this BKB. He doesn't have a TP. He's already on his way back. I guess he didn't get the BKB. He saw there's a team fight. He's going to crush, he's going to amplify damage. He's going to one-hit bash. Lucky bash. He's not going to be able to get that kill. There's going to be a TP away at the original spot where you started TPing, I guess. I don't know. But you can actually, I think, cast that while you're rolling boulder, which is fascinating. So they're going to push the lane. So they actually killed, I'm thinking that was a Dendi ultimate on top of the Death Prophet to kill the Death Prophet during her ultimate. And now they're going to turn this into a push. The courier has respawned. He was trying to get the BKB before the courier respawned. There's no point sitting back there now in the base because he can just sit out here and wait for the courier to come deliver it. He is the priority on the courier. He does have a gem, by the way. He did pick up that gem. I think that might have been a gem he picked up off the ground. Blink, crush. No, silence. He's got to watch out where he blinks. See if he starts thinking about that. There's the Force Staff. He crushes Aloha Dance. He's going to put the ult in Aloha Dance. Hit a few times. Sees him participate. Now, he finally got the BKB charge. I'm not sure that was worth it. I'm not sure he needed that one. He kind of engages, leaves. Engages, leaves. He's a hit and run. That's what this hero is doing. And, of course, he's leaving because I think his time is up. The Navi needs to get the hell out because the strength the VP is returning with the Death Prophet ultimate back online. Also, I think the heroes are just out of gas. Maybe they're out of mana. I don't know what's going on there. But the call was to retreat, and so he does so. He obliges the request. Gonna keep pushing the lane. Keep using that Iron Talon. Got 1,200 gold. He's got the Gem of True Sight. He's only died twice in this game, actually. So I said he had like 18 deaths. I was wrong. He's going to have, I think, 18 assists by the end of this game. I read that wrong. But he's died a decent number of times. That was probably a mistake. 4 staffs off the high ground. He doesn't see. I don't think he's looking for a ward. Doesn't have any way to de-ward. Blink up on the high ground, maybe. No, he's just going to kill this tower. There is an enemy. Okay, so he's going to sit on the side here. He's going to see if he can see. He's going to use the Iron Talon to get further into these tree line. He wants to be able to counter, initiate. Maybe start the initiation, initiate, leave, and then counter-initiate. There's Yoku. There's No Fear with a Lifestealer inside of him. Nobody, I think he knew that. And somehow they gained vision over him. I think, when I remember correctly, that was a courier that actually spotted him, which is sad. He doesn't have buyback. He's not going to have enough money for buyback. He doesn't need buyback. The creep waves are nowhere near being able to push in on the towers, Navi's towers. So he's going to sit here and maybe take a break, go to the bathroom. No, I don't think they can do that. I think he's on the big stage right now in Frankfurt. So maybe he's drinking some water.
I'll take that.
Looks like, they're just going to use this. Navi's just going to use the opportunity to farm. I don't know what that was all about. Is he hitting his own ward there? That was weird. So Navi just trying to take advantage of the farm. I think also VP. I think they were trying to take advantage of this farm. They're at this point at a real disadvantage. I think that the gold charts. Yeah, Navi's a 12,000 gold lead here. They've got a really nasty, at least dual core with kind of redundant carries. And look at how powerful Ditchara and Dendi are right now. Dendi's able to solo people with his ultimate. Ditchara is going to be able to leave and then re-engage. He's going to be able to come in. There's the crush on top of G. He's going to go ahead and amplify damage on G. Well, one hit from Dendi just takes away so much health. This is going to be a very, very dead Death Prophet. BKBs for no reason. I don't know. Well, Death Prophet BKB for no reason. I think maybe General BKB to avoid the silence, he get the crush off. And that's probably one of the major reasons he's BKBing, is so he can BKB and blink in to continue his crushing. Because I'm pretty sure the BKB prevents him from being silenced. I mean, he is immune to, generally speaking, magical effects. So that's probably the reason he's doing that. That's a good reason to get a BKB. I mean, his whole role fails if he doesn't have a BKB, and he blinks into these damn smoke screens. He's done it a couple times now, and potentially loses the fight as a result, so he's got to be careful. So he was up there around the top tower. I'm not sure. I think he was just looking for a crush target because Ancient Apparition's coming online. Maybe he's going to be able to get a stop on the enemy, get some vision on the enemy. So Navi take the tower and retreat. I think they took the melee racks there. They're going to retreat. General's actually playing around with Yoku there. Not a good idea. He needs to get out because his team is way far away. He does not have any support. He actually is sticking around a little bit. I think that's because Navi's thinking maybe to reinitiate. That's what's going on. Okay. And they can do that. They got Ditchara and the Slark who can reinitiate really well. Dendi's got a heal. He can reinitiate. They're very fat right now. And most importantly, the Tidehunter ult is down. So So VP tries to attack Navi. Looks like General gets a BKB off in time, crushes. He's going to try to escape this. He wants to be able to reinitiate, but he needs to get back out and come back in. There's a reinitiation, crush, ult, hits him a few times. He's going to die. He's going to have to get out. This is why a 4-staff works, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. That was, I think, a bash to kill. That was amazing. Yes, he gets initiated on. Doesn't realize what's going on. VP is a last-ditch effort here. He was ahead in ults. G, that's his kill target. But he gets the hell. He doesn't stick around because there's too much damage going on. He will die to that. Blinks, crushes on the ultimate. I think, oh yeah, so he actually just needs to do a little bit of damage because Aloha Dance has his, is currently affected by the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast. So yeah, just a little bit of extra damage is going to be able to kill the life stealer there. So that was it. That's game. Now, I guess I made a big deal early on about how General was actually one of the secrets to this game, and I think he was, and maybe less so than I first thought. But this is for us, for like a scrub, like me. I'm not going to be the Juggernaut. I'm not going to be the Dendy Juggernaut that can come in and just crush everything and do really good. Be a 17-3 Juggernaut. He did a really good job. He played that really well. I would have never been able to do what he did in that one team fight where he basically just barely avoided enough damage so he could get away with like 20 health and then come back in and then use his ultimate, ult the Omni slash the Death Prophet, kill the Death Prophet. That was really fantastic. But I at the same time, I question whether Juggernaut he would have been able to do that if it weren't for the fact that 3-man crush from General. And so this is how I see this game. Slardar, General played a really great Slardar. He played Slardar. It wasn't like a spotlight hero. It wasn't a star of the match, but it was an unsung hero because he got killed once in the bot lane, but he avoided feeding in a very, very tough lane. There was a life stealer. There was a Riki sitting around. There was a roaming Earth Spirit. He was intelligent. Of course, he's done this a million times. But as a scrub, I watch this and I learn. And I say to myself, if I have a lane like that, I get the hell out of the lane. I get an Iron Talon, and I do something else. If the lane's going to be that bad, I just leave. And so that was a good decision because what that did is that let him get his boots, that let him get his Blink Dagger. And really all he needed to do is participate in one decent team fight to get that Blink Dagger. He farmed as much as he could, and then he got one decent team fight and he got his Blink Dagger. So knowing how to get your Blink Dagger at a decent time, I think is worth watching. And then the Blink Dagger was, that's it. You could see exactly how he played the hero. He would, if he either an initiator or a counter initiator or both. He would blink in, he would crush, he would ult, and he'd, generally speaking, run away if there was a team fight going on because he wanted to be a reinitiator. He wanted to preserve his ability to reinitiate, surprise the enemy with a crush, and then apply another amplified damage, or continue some unstoppable force. Basically be the snowball. Be the engine that drives the snowball. And that's what he kept doing. And so that, he got that Blink Dagger by playing intelligently. He then got a Force Staff. I think that was a good item pickup for him because it got another kill on that Riki there as part of that kind of push by Navi. He got surprised. General got surprised by Riki, but he was able to Force Staff himself out. He's able to, I think he crushed and then, I think he Force Staffed himself out. Riki jumped onto him, which indicated that Riki was on the aggressive and there's probably a team somewhere nearby. And he crushed, and then General turned around, crushed Riki, ulted Riki. Seneko came in with the track gold. Dendy starts Blade Furying, and Ditch and Ra pounces and kills Riki. So that was a really nice turnaround started by General. And then, there's that 3-man crush, that big team fight where Dendy was able to narrowly escape, only to come back and Omni/kill the Death Prophet. And then Slardar just kind of kept it up. The same thing, just kind of keep the pressure up on the enemy. And he got a BKB because he kept blinking into silences. He rushed back to get that so he could keep the pressure up on the enemy to keep his main function alive. Who knows what he would have gotten next? Maybe the boots, nicer boots. He didn't really need Tranquil boots anymore. Well, he would probably got rid of the Iron Talon for sure. And by the way, he kept farming. He didn't stop farming. He didn't just sit around. There's 3 lanes, and there's the jungles. So at some point, you're going to be able to farm. If the lanes are pushed in across to your side and you know where the enemy is, you can farm those lanes safely. If you don't know where the enemy is, you pull back. Maybe you farm in a more defensive position. And he kept doing that. So I'd say all around a very good game by General, and one in which he was not given the credit that was due. Everybody thinks Dendy's, was the absolute best player in this game, and maybe he was the best player, but I'm not sure he could have done it without General. So that's the backbone of the team. That's the catalyst, I think. Obviously, Dendy's good enough to take advantage of it, and probably maybe he'd have been able to turn it around anyway. Maybe he'd have been able to win this game even without a really good General. But when you're playing your pub match and you're scrubbing it up with your friends in your 5-stack or your 3-stack or by yourself because you're terrible like me and you don't have any friends. I have friends, by the way. I don't have to prove that to you. When you're terrible and you just want to play, you play a starter and you say, this is how I'm going to play this hero. And you go through and maybe you lose, but at least you know that you played it the way it was supposed to be played, or at least a way that it can be played successfully. So good luck out there, folks, and have fun.